Welcome to today's cover crop options. Today we're talking about Sunn Hemp, a legume, which means that it fixes nitrogen from the air and puts it in plant available forms in the soil with the help of some beneficial bacteria. In the picture, we have several cover crops growing at the same time next to each other. We have some sunflowers on the left, we've got a little bit of millet in the center, and then on the far right, that's what Sunn Hemp looks like. Sunn Hemp is a tropical plant, and so in the right conditions, it can get 20 feet high. In our conditions in Northern Virginia, sometimes it can get up to 12 feet high depending on how the summer goes. The previous picture was from years past. This is the picture of our Sunn Hemp that we planted this year in 2025. And you can see that it's about 4 feet, maybe 5 feet above the fence. The fence is about 6 feet tall, so that gives you an idea of how tall this can grow. So one of the things about Sunn Hemp that I get asked a lot is this part of the cannabis family? Well, the answer is no. The hemp part of Sunn Hemp comes from the fact that, like cannabis, is very fibrous, and so it can be used for rope and other similar things. The inside of Sunn Hemp is very pithy, but the outer edges are very fibrous. And so what usually is done to extract the fibers is you wait until it dries, and then you pound it. And then you can start separating out the individual fibers, and those individual fibers can then be treated like any other fibers. They can be spun together and then turned into rope, turned into fabric, and other products. So another thing about Sunn Hemp that is handy is that it is a trap crop for Japanese beetles. And so if you're growing Sunn Hemp over the summer and you've got vegetable crops, for whatever reason, the Japanese beetles seem to prefer Sunn Hemp. And so this is a great place for your Japanese beetles to congregate instead of your vegetables, and also a great place to then go after the Japanese beetles because they're all in one place. So another nice thing about Sunn Hemp, again, you can see how tall it grows. That's a lot of biomass, and that biomass is great for your compost bin. So if you're doing compost and you need a lot of greens to add to it, Sunn Hemp is something that's going to give you a lot of that biomass to go into your compost. It can also be cut down, and because it's a legume, it's going to break down fairly quickly, so you can strip the leaves off and use that as a mulch, and the nutrients from those leaves will go back into the soil fairly quickly. So if you're going to use it for your fall crops, that's a great way to pump some nitrogen in, a nice slow release nutrient source that's going to help boost your fall crops. Now, this is the big reason why we like Sunn Hemp. So look at those pink little dots that are there attached to the roots. That's where the bacteria that works with Sunn Hemp has converted nitrogen from the air into a plant available nitrogen form. That's what we're looking for. And Sunn Hemp, like other legumes, is an excellent fixer of nitrogen. So to recap, Sunn Hemp is a summer cover crop. It adds nitrogen to the soil, which is the reason most people grow it. It does produce a lot of biomass, which is great if you are trying to increase the output of your compost. It also is a great trap crop for Japanese beetles. At our demonstration garden in Bristow, we often grow it so that we have a lot of nitrogen in the soil as we get ready to use our high nitrogen demand fall crops like many of the brassicas. For more information on cover crops, please contact us at Master Gardener, all one word, at pwcva.gov. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.